US AI startups are hiring engineers in India right now, remotely, for 2 to 3 times what the same job pays you here. And that part's real. I went and pulled the actual salary data on this. You're also probably not going to get one, and it won't be because you're not good enough. It's just that you've got nothing that they can check. So that's most of what we're doing today. I'm going to show you exactly how to build that step by step. Hey everyone, I did my BTech in CS from IIT Delhi, came out rank 3 in my department, and right now I build ML models for a living at a US AI startup. I have seen how these companies actually think about hiring, and I've watched genuinely good engineers from India get completely ignored by them. So today I'm covering exactly how you build the proof that gets you hired, what these jobs actually really pay, and why founders are quietly passing on you even though you feel like you're doing everything right. So let's talk about money first, because that's why you're here. If you're sitting in India and you get an entry-level AI engineering role at a US AI startup remote, you are looking at somewhere between $45,000 to $60,000 a year. That's roughly 40 to 50 lakhs starting. It goes up a lot from here. Same person, same laptop, same room. The number changes based on who's sending the money. And the companies exist. Y Combinator's Winter 2026 batch, 214 companies, over 80% with AI as the actual product. That's one batch. AI engineering roles are posting around 1500 a week, so the demand's real. This isn't a scam. Oh, and whether you actually keep that number comes down to one form that nobody mentions. Skip it and a US company is legally required to withhold 30%. We'll get there at the end. Now you've seen the other version of this video. Thousands of desperate startups, zero experience, free spreadsheet, go email 25 people at every company. The money is roughly right, the path is fake. Because junior roles right now ask for a median of 2 years of experience. Junior. And companies are pulling back on juniors specifically because a senior with an AI tool does the work of about 3 of them. The exact tasks that used to be how you got your first job are what got automated first. So sit with what remote plus zero experience actually means. That's the final boss. But, and this is the whole video, nobody's actually asking you for 2 years of employment. They're asking for evidence that you can build what a person with 2 years of experience can build. And the distance between I have never had a job and there's zero proof I can do this is enormous. So let's build it. This is the part that actually matters. Everyone says contribute to open source. Then you open GitHub, find a repo with 4,000 open issues and close the tab. Because that's a completely useless thing to tell someone, so let me give you the actual thing. Here's the insight that changes this, and I wish someone had told me this earlier. Stop looking for an easy issue. Go looking for a project where contributions come in identical shapes. dept. It is an LLM testing framework. If you know PyTest, you'll understand it in about 10 minutes. Open the metrics folder and there are 52 of them, each isolated in its own directory. Answer, relevancy, agent loop detection, one metric, one contribution. So here you're going to find lots and lots of issues. Light LLM, another example. It's a universal gateway for LLM APIs. Open the LLMs folder, 138 providers, and adding a new one follows the same pattern every single time. Do one and you have learned how to do the next one. See it? A metric, a provider. The repo has a unit, and the unit is small enough to hold in your head. That's what turns contribute to open source from a fantasy into a Tuesday work. 3 more, all with live good first issue labels. Instructor, structured outputs from LLMs. Tight scope used by a huge number of developers. Second, agents, if you want full stack rather than pure Python. Fast API backend, React frontend, and DSPY out of Stanford, which is genuinely the cleanest documented code base on this list. And if you'd rather find on your own, 4 things to check. 1, commits within the last week. The project's actually alive and people care about it. 2, a good first issue label that's genuinely being used, not one that they added in 2023 and forgot. 3, a real contributing file. 4, this is the one that people get wrong. Think about the queue. Star count is really about whether a human replies to you. Somewhere under 30,000 stars, maintainers are still reading PRs from people they don't know. That's dept at 17,000. Instructor at 14. Agenta at 4.5. You will actually get an actual conversation. Past 100,000 DeFi, Open Web UI, that tier your PR joins a queue and might sit for months. Great projects, but bad place to start. Light LLMs in between at 56,000, I'll still learn from that provider's folder because the pattern's so clean. Just know that the merge is slower. So first, read contributing.md before you read a single line of the code. Half of rejected PRs die on the process. The code was probably fine. 2. Join their Discord or Slack and introduce yourself before you even open a PR. On a lot of these projects, maintainers are actively mentoring new contributors, and suddenly you've got a name in there. 3. Make your first one small and boring. Documentation, a missing example, a small bug with a clear reproduction, whatever. Do not try to be impressive on your first PR. All you're buying with it is a relationship. And 4. Do the repeatable unit. Add the provider, add the metric, and then do it twice more. 3 merged PRs into one recognizable repo is a completely different candidate from one PR each into 3 random ones. It reads as commitment and the scattered version just reads as tourism. And honestly, your first merged PR, if you're consistent about it, usually takes a few weeks. Plan for that. The first one's slow because you're learning the process, and the third one takes an afternoon. One thing, please hear this. Whatever you do not paste a GitHub issue into an LLM and ship whatever comes out of it. Maintainers spot AI-generated PRs immediately, and it's openly discussed in open source right now on Twitter, on X, and everywhere, and it actively counts against you. You are going to be banned. You have created public evidence that you don't understand your own contributions. Use AI to understand the code base. Have it explain the module, help you write tests, walk you through why something's structured the way it is. Then write the fix yourself and be able to defend every line. That's the difference between a portfolio and a liability. Alongside that, ship one thing end-to-end, front-end, back-end, deployed, real users if you can get them. Because founders at this stage want breadth over deep specialization. Someone who can take a thing from zero to actually in front of a user. With AI writing more of the code now, what they're screening for is judgment. Can you connect the dots? Can you talk to a user? Can you ship something real without 3 layers of support? And here's the thing I didn't realize until I put this together. Across a bunch of AI startup founding engineer searches, 58% of those hires came through the founder's own prior network. Job boards had nothing to do with it. It was people they already knew or 1 degree away. So more than half of these jobs are gone before they have ever posted. So which raises the obvious question, how do you build a network into US AI startups from India with no job? And the answer is you already started. That's what the last 10 minutes actually were. A merged PR does a lot more than proof that you can build. It's a conversation with a maintainer. It's your name in a Discord where people who work at these companies are hanging out. It's a public artifact someone can actually find. Every one of those repos is full of people working at exactly the kind of company that you are trying to get into. You built the evidence in public on purpose. So you've got the proof now. Here's what's still going to stop you, and it's got nothing to do with your skill. India's 9.5 to 13.5 hours of US time zones, depending on coast and daylight saving. Every founder will tell you we're async, it's fine. Almost none actually are. Async is a thing teams say. In practice, someone needs an answer at 2 a.m. Pacific, you are asleep. It happens 4 times and hiring you tries to feel like a mistake. That's reason number 1, it's sleep. One line right at the top of your first cold message. I work 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. That's like a 4-hour overlap with your team's morning every day. Flexible is what every applicant writes, so it reads as nothing. A specific window is something a founder can look at and stop worrying about. Remove the objection before they formed it and then leave it. If you say 4 hours, you show up for 4 hours, starting from the first email before you are even hired. If you are replying at 4 a.m. during their time during the process, you have already proved the line. Reason 2 only started mattering this year. Founders lean really hard on live, unscripted calls to judge someone. And what they're reading is the hesitation, how you think when you are stuck, whether you're actually the person on the resume. And in 2026, with AI-assisted interviewing everywhere and deepfake concerns being something genuinely companies discuss now, they have come to lean on that live signal even harder. So when they hire remote and offshore, they lose their main instrument for reading people. Rather than just build a new vetting process, most just don't. They hire whoever they can get on a call at 3 p.m. So give them something to read. Offer the live session voluntarily before anyone asks. Want to screen share for 45 minutes and I'll build something in front of you. No prep? It's the hardest thing in the world to offer if you're faking, and it costs nothing if you're not. It's a filter that you're applying to yourself in public. Founders clock that instantly. Founders have hired offshore before. Obviously, I'm an example. Their honest read is that the quality range is enormous. There are outstanding engineers and there are mills pushing out inexperienced people with padded resumes. And they have learned the expensive lesson, the cheapest hire producing the most expensive outcome, because someone takes twice as long, 40% gets rewritten. And when your application lands, you show up to them as a probability distribution, and they have decided the spread's too wide to even bother investigating. This is the one thing you've already fixed. 3 must PRs in a repo they recognize. One thing you built and deployed end to end. That's not a claim they have to take on faith. It's a link they can open in 90 seconds and verify for themselves. You didn't argue with the risk estimate, you just removed it. Which brings me back to those 25,000 emails. Average cold email reply rate in 2026. 3.4% and collapsing. 8.5% in 2019. 5 last year. 3.4 now. So LinkedIn measured across 4 million plus messages, 17%. 1,000 companies, 25 people each. At 3.4%, that's 850 replies, which sounds amazing, except that the average is probably just business to business from people with something to sell. An unknown candidate with nothing public emailing a company that never posted at all. You're way under it and you just spent months. So LinkedIn 5 times the rate. One warm intro from someone who's seen your code beats all of it. And if you do send, 3 touches gets you 99% of every reply you'll ever get. Follow up twice, then stop. For boards, YC's own is free and filtered to companies that are actually funded. So work at a startup where you build one profile and founders come to you. And well found where founders themselves name as they are going looking. Okay, so 30% I promised you, because every one of these videos ends at you got the offer, cool. So how do you actually get paid? 2 paths. Either an employer of record, deal remote rippling, who's legally your employer in India and handles everything, or you're an independent contractor invoicing them directly. So if you're a contractor, one form matters more than all of it, the W-8BEN. So valid W-8BEN on file claiming the India-US treaty benefit, the company withholds 0. Missing or expired, 30% withheld, 6 to 12 months to claim back, 30% of your salary because of a form. So just remember this form. And on GST, exporting services to a US client is 0 rated. So no GST on your invoice and you can claim refunds on inputs. But registration is still mandatory once you cross the threshold. So people miss that constantly. And obviously I built ML models and not a CA. Take this as the words you now know to Google and confirm with an actual accountant before you sign anything. So honestly, the money is real. The companies are real. The thing that you keep getting sold. 0 experience spreadsheet, 25,000 emails, and the lottery ticket with extra steps. Sold to you by people who make money when you believe it. The real version is slower and kind of boring, and it's completely available to you. Pick one repo with a repeatable unit. Read the contributing guide, say hi in the Discord, ship 3 small merged PRs, build one thing end to end, put it in front of someone, post on LinkedIn, state your overlap hours, offer the call before they ask. You're not competing for a job, you're removing reasons to say no one at a time in public. Completely different activity, and you can start it tonight. And if you want the skills underneath all of this, my whole roadmap's in one place, handwritten ML, deep learning and NLP notes, maths and stats notes, 14 projects with code, everything links in description. Go build something worth linking to. That's it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. All the best and good luck.